Okay, in this episode, we're going to go over exercises 3-2, objects with curves. And the first exercise, we're going to do a laundry with a laundry sink. So let me go ahead and save this file as something else. Control-Shift-S. Control-Shift-S. And we are going to do the laundry sink on 3-9. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this. And let's begin. Let's draw a rectangle. And let's specify 0, 0, enter. Great. Now we need 2 feet, tab, 18 inches. There we go. Now we need to draw the circles. Circle, letter C, and it wants us to draw a circle with a 1-inch diameter. There you have it. And it wants us to move it 5 inches from this point. Move. So the letter M, spacebar, select the object, triangle, grab it from its midpoint, and we're displacing it. I just move my mouse down, type in 5 inches. There we go. Now we have a laundry sink. So, Control S. Saving it. Control Shift S. Now we are moving on to the dryer. Save. Alright, so this has different dimensions. Let me go ahead and delete this. We need a rectangle. Let's just do 0. Zero. 0. Enter. Right, we need a rectangle that is 2 feet 6, tab, and 2 foot 2. Enter. Alright. We also need to offset a line, or move a line. So I'm going to draw a line here. We need to move this line. I'm going to select it first, hit M, spacebar, and displace it 2.5 inches. So 2.5. There we go. And then from here, we're using the fillet, or fillet, and that is the letter F, spacebar, and now we need to specify the fillet radius for 2 inches. Enter. Now we get to select our object, and we can select two. We have to select a first line and a second line. And what it does, what this fillet does, is it allows these two lines to form a curved line together. And watch what I mean by this. So click here, Oh, it's not allowing me to do that. We may have to explode this. So let's explode this. Hit the letter X. Spacebar. Yes. Okay. Fillet. 2. So the letter F, spacebar, 2, spacebar. The letter F was for fillet. The number 2 was for 2-inch radius. So select this line. Select that line. Wait. So I did the fillet command incorrectly. F. Now we need to specify radius and the number 2 for inches radius. And now we can do it. There we go. So that's what we want. So let's repeat that. Let's go and do that. Control Z. Fillet, spacebar. We need to type in R for radius. And we need to specify the radius, 2-inch radius. Spacebar, select, select. Now if I hit the spacebar again, I could select this line, and wham. There we go. Alright, so I want to get you in the habit of saving, so Control S for save. I know the book tells you to do it as well. So now we're going to use offset. So offset, and we are going to specify 4 inches. We're going to offset. What offset does is it allows us to do this. It takes this line and it makes a copy and drops a copy 4 inches away from its original position. And then now we could use fillet. Fillet, radius, 1 inch, here, here. Spacebar, here, here. Spacebar, here, here. Spacebar, here, here. Now remember, the spacebar allows us to jump into the previous command. We also have to, I skipped a step, but we also have to stretch this and move it 2 inches this way. Same thing here. 2 inches. And I'm just displacing it from this area over here so I don't jump into any of the O snaps. And 2. There we go. Alright, I also realized that I didn't have to explode this, so I recreated this rectangle. So I can use fillet, radius. So F for fillet, radius, 2 inches, because I want this 2 inches. And check this out. Here we go. Now I could offset this 4 inches. Why is that? Offset. O. Spacebar. Type in 4. Spacebar. There we go. So now it wants us to use the stretch command. So the letter S. Spacebar. Select 2 inches. Select 2 inches, and then fillet 1 inch, here, here. Oop. we could also use the P line. And that's when you're still in the command and you type the letter P, and it does it all at once. And actually, this is how it's supposed to look. Not like this. Delete. And let me move this. Let's 0, 0, 0. And there we have it. All right. So now that we have that, oh, we also need to make a little rectangle for here. And let's do this. Let's move this there. And that's the little handle for the dryer. So Control S, save, and voila, done. So I just drew an arbitrary triangle, but it does say draw 4-inch, tab 1-inch rectangle. There we go. Now let's draw a construction line. And we need to draw a construction line for, well, we don't have to draw a construction line. We could just move this from this midpoint to this midpoint, move it again, displace it 2 inches, like it says in the book. There we go. Control S. Alright, Control, save as. And now let's go on to the range. Let's create the range. Let's delete that. Alright, first things first, let's draw a rectangle. So, REC, spacebar, 0, 0. Alright, let's see, 2 foot 6-inch tab 2, 2, enter. Now we need to draw a line, move it down 2 inches. So I displaced it 2 inches. And that was the letter M for move. You see that again. It's Control Z. So L for line, create a line from here to here. I use the endpoints. Letter M, spacebar, and I just random displacement. I'm just going to left click over here and down 2 inches. There you go. Alright, now it's saying to make 2 circles. And it looks like these circles are going to be 9.5 inch diameter and 7.5 inch diameter. So, circle, and let's choose diameter, D for diameter. And now type in 9.5, and the measurement from here to here is 9.5. So let's do that again. Circle and diameter, D for diameter. So the letter C, spacebar, D, spacebar for diameter. C, spacebar, specify base point, D for diameter, and now we type in 7.5. Enter. So the distance from here to here is 7.5. Hit escape. Alright, so we need 2 of these. And first we need to move this. Let's move it here to this corner. We need to move it up and over 7 inches. So move up 7 inches, 7, enter, move over 7 inches. This needs to move here, because from the center of this, we need to move this up 11 inches. And now we have this range, well, the start of it. So now we need to move, or we need a copy of these over here, and we need to move those copies to be from the center point to move 1 foot 4 inches. And so how to do that is, well, they're also opposite. This size circle is down here, this size circle is up here. So let's do this. Copy, paste, copy, paste. Now we know we need this big one to stay here. We need this small one and this big one to be over here. And we need to move that 1 foot 4 inches. And now we have our range. I know the book says to draw construction lines. We can do that. We can come over here and go up 7 inches, go over here, and then draw 7 inches here. But we could also use the move command instead of construction lines. Erase that. Let's go ahead and save. And we are done with this. Alright, so now that this is saved, I'm going to go ahead and Control Shift S, save as, and now we are going to do the chair number 2. So chair dash 2. Save. Alright, let's delete that. There we go. Let's start this chair. So this chair that we're supposed to build, the text wants us to use the arc. You're welcome to use that. Go ahead and try and use the directions on 3-16, 3-17, as well as it finishes at 3-18 on number 52. So I'm going to go ahead and show you a different one. 3-16 shows us that we have a chair, and the chair is, let's see, 0, 0. I'm drawing a line from the 0, and then we know that the bottom of the chair is 2 feet 6 inches. Enter. We also know the length is 2 feet 6 inches. And these are going to be part of our construction line. So I'm copying this to here, and I want to copy this to here. And so we know that we need a diameter of a circle, or at least half a circle, that is at 2 feet 6 inches, or a radius of 15 inches, because 2 feet 6 inches converts into 30 inches. Radius is half of that. So circle, radius, oop, 15, radius 15. There we go. Let's move that. Let's move it again. So I'm grabbing it by the quadrant, putting it right there, and it looks like it ends right over here. So now what I want to do is I want to draw a line where these meet, and I want to trim here and here. Get rid of these. Get rid of these. Oop, let's trim. Trim here and here. Get rid of that line. This line is supposed to be 1'3". Yep. Got that. Alright, so now we need to find the difference between here and this. It looks like this is going to be offset. This line and this line and this line is going to be offset too. So that the distance from the inner version of the offset is 1 foot 10 inches. And the difference between 2 feet 6 and 1 foot 10 inches, I believe, is 8 inches. So let's offset 8. Nope. Let's try 4. No, we could do this even easier. Line, line, 1 foot 10 inches. Escape, move. Okay. No, it's actually 4 inches. I forgot to divide it in half because there's 4 inches here, 4 inches here. That total. Okay, so offset 4 inches. There you go. That's how you do the chair. Well, that's another way how to do the chair. And so the book tells you can use the arc. Go ahead and play around with the arc. And you can try it my way as well. Alright, so now we need to make the love seat. Alright. Let me go ahead and save this. Control S, Control Shift S. And let's do this love seat. I don't know why I say love seat the way I do, but because it's love. Alright. Let's go ahead and delete that. And looks like we need to use a rectangle. Oh, it says use lines, not a rectangle, and fillet of 1 foot 3 inch radius, and then offset. What are we offsetting it to? Well, we'll go ahead and figure this out. And it looks like we're offsetting it 6 inches. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Rectangle, 0, 0, space, and first one is 5 feet. And the second one is 2 foot 10, 2 foot 10. And we are going to fillet this radius. Fillet radius 1 foot 3. All right. And here, spacebar here. Then we're going to offset this 6 inches. Ah, this is why they said draw it line by line. Fix. So let's go ahead and delete that. Delete. Now let's use explode. X, spacebar. There we go. Now they're line by line. So offset 6. There we go. And now we need to draw a line in the middle. Now we got the love seat. Done with the love seat. So let's go ahead and save that. Control S, Control Shift S. Now let's work on the tub. Rub-a-dub-dub. Here we go. Go ahead and delete this. Delete rectangle. And it looks like we got 5 feet. Tab 2 foot 8. Enter. I messed up. So REC 0, 0. First corner 5 feet. Tab 2 foot 8. Spacebar. There we go. All right. And now it looks like we're going to offset this 4 inches. So offset 4 inches. Now the book's trying to make us think on our own. We need to explode this. Explode, erase, and stretch. And it wants us to use an arc or fillet. So let's go ahead and do this. We will explode this. So X for explode. Here, select the object, explode. I'm going to leave this here. Let's make a circle from here to here. We're going to move this. Book tells us to do it a different way. Oh no, I kind of like my way. Line, line, and trim. So I want to trim from here, spacebar, remove that. I also want to remove this and this. Now I know I can get rid of these. So I left that line here because I knew it was 4 inches away. And I trimmed the circle from this line. I also trimmed the extensions of these lines. And so this is thinking like a drafter. There's more than one way to do this. Again, I do this all the time. I play this game in my head. How can I do this easier? Now the book is trying to show you arc. Go ahead and try that. But to me, this was a more efficient one. Okay, so now we're going to use fillet 4 inches. Oop, that's not right. Let's see. What does it want on the fillet command for the tub? This is 4 inch radius. So fillet radius 4. There we go. Alright, let's do that again. So fillet F, spacebar R, spacebar 4. That's right, because it was still on the other one. So that's the thing about the fillet. It'll remember the last input that you did. So I inputted it wrong, and that's why the first one was all messed up. So, all right, there we go. That is the tub. So Control S, Control Shift S. Now we're on to the lavatory, Lav 1. We're also going to do Lav 2. So Lav 1. Let's get rid of this. All right, so notice how the directions are getting more simplified, because right now you should be able to understand the dimensions, should be able to understand that all the all the things shown and their terminology, start getting used to it, and that's what the book is forcing you to do. So let's go ahead and put in some work. Alright, we need to make a rectangle. REC 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. There we go. REC 0, 0. There we go. So now we need 1 foot 8, tab 1 foot 6, enter. All right. Let's see. Small rectangle to be 4.5 inch by 1 inch and 1.5 away from back. All right. So smaller arcs have 1 inch radius. Let's all right, fillet radius 1 inch. Here, spacebar, select, select. All right, and now sides and front of sink are 1.5 offset. So offset 1.5. Go. This back should have 4 inch offset from all right, so let's line, let's just go 4 inches. Okay, that's 4 inches. Let's stretch. There we go. Stretch that, that's 4 inches. And looks like we need to do, the large arcs have 2.5 fillet radius. So fillet radius 2.5. There we go. We need to do a circle. This circle is a 2-inch diameter. So we need to do 1 inch radius. And so from here to here should be 2 inches. Yep. and it's 8 inches from here. So I'm going to highlight that, M for move, move it 8 inches here. Let's do a rectangle, and small rectangle to be 4.5 inch by 1 inch. So 4.5 time or tab 1 inch. That's not right. Rectangle 4.5 tab 1. I'm messing up. It's like rectangle. Specify. Okay, so 4.5 tab 1, enter. There we go. Now we need to move this 1.5 inches from the origin. 1.5. And there you have it. That is the sink. So these small arcs have 1 inch radius. That's 2.5 inch radius. Perfect. So Control S, save, Control Shift S, and now let's work on the Lav2 drawing. So let's go knock this out real quick. Lav2, we are going to do an ellipse. Alright. So now we're going to use the ellipse tool, the ellipse command. EL is the command. And the book says that you are to enter 1 foot 7 inches first, and then 11. But I never really... Okay, so that didn't come out right. I kind of messed up, and I rotated that. So, ellipse. We need to go up 1, 7. There we go. And then to the side, 11. Because that is half. That is the radius. So we first specified the diameter of the ellipse going up. And now we are specifying the radius from here to here going this way. So the first dimension we gave was the diameter, and then the second one is the radius, and that's how ellipse work. If you ever come up across an ellipse, and let's just say you knew the diameter from here to here and here to here, well, you can draw these lines first and separate, and then just move here to that midpoint, use the ellipse command, go from here to here, then to here, and it's the same thing. So delete the construction lines and you're good to go. Alright, now we have to offset this. We are going to offset 2.5 inches. And we are going to do that. So offset 2.5. There we go. Now we got that done. Alright, now it wants us to move this inner ellipse down. Move, spacebar. Let's move this down 1 inch. There we go. Now it wants us to open the Lav1 drawing. So go right here, and here are your most recent drawings. So Lav1's right here, and it wants us to copy this. Let's just copy this whole thing. Control C, go back to Lav2, Control V, and now what we want to do is copy these CO from this base to here. And now we are done. The reason why I copied this whole thing is I needed to copy from this base point. If I only copied this and this by hitting Control C and then, which is Control Copy, and then Control V is Control Paste, that's how I got this drawing from here to here. So let me back that up real quick. Let's go ahead and delete this. So go back to Lab 1 drawing. I selected this whole thing, Control C, and if I want to move any drawing from one to another, just open up the drawing you want to reference to the drawing you want it on, and Control V. It's just copy and paste. And now, CO, and I'm using CAD instead of the actual copy command, because I want to specify this base point. So I'm using the copy command for CAD to do that. If I was to do Control C, and Control V, it's going to give me an arbitrary base point, and I don't want that. So that's why I use CO for copy command. And put it over there. Anyway, so delete, Control S for save, and now we move on to sync -1. And let's go ahead and Control Shift S, sync -1. And let's get started on this. Let's delete this. I don't know if we need to delete it. Yeah, I guess so. Alright. Let's delete it. Start out rectangle. And let's go 0, 0. And we need 2 foot 9, tab 1 foot 10. Alright. We need to make other rectangles, so REC, and this can be arbitrary. 1 foot 2 inches, tab 1 foot 3 inches, tab. And it looks like the fillet is 2-inch radius. So fillet, radius 2. And there is a 2-inch move. We need to move this 2 inches this way, but we also need to move this down here and move it again up 2 inches. So we have 2 inches here, 2 inches here, according to the directions. 2-inch space, offset at sides and front. Alright, so 3-inch diameter circles inside these sinks. So circle, and 3-inch diameter, so that's 1.5 inch radius inside the sinks. And so I'm assuming it's right dab in the middle. Let's move that over here. There we go. Delete. Now we can copy all of this CO, and we know it's going to be 2 inches away. Cancel. Move to, and there we go. Now we have sync. Alright, and we have 1.5 inch diameter faucet at 3.5 inches apart. Doesn't specify the distance of the faucets, but it is 1.5 inch diameter. So, C, there we go, and that is 3/4 inch, and we know that this is CO, and we're saying it's 3.5 inches apart from each other. So copy 3.5 and copy 3.5. And I don't know the distance from here to here, but I want to say that these circles are gonna be probably halfway, because they really didn't give us the and so I'm going to move all 3 of these circles. So I'm going to select all 3, move, and move it by the center straight down to the perpendicular. Done. Delete. There we go. Alright. Yep, that looks about right according to the drawing. And this is why I have Problem Solver on my resume. Alright, so let me go ahead and save that. Control S, Control Shift S, and now we're going to do the water closet. So, water closet is also known as the toilet. So, let's get to work. Water closet. So, we need a rectangle. And I'm not going to care where it actually is. So, let's just do 1'8", because it's showing in the dimensions tab, 9 inches, and let's see, it looks like there's a fillet. And it doesn't specify what the fillet is on the corners, because it says we're supposed to be able to draw this without any help. Alright, so let's just use 1 inch on the fillet. See how that goes. Oops. Fillet radius 1. Yep, that looks about right. And now we're going to do an ellipse. And the ellipse is 1 foot and 1'5". So, ellipse. And we're going to go 1'5". And then that was diameter. Now we have to give it a radius, which is the diameter is 6, but we need the radius. I mean, the diameter is 12, so 1 foot, and we need to type in 6. There we go. Let's move this. Move from here to here, and we have a lavatory or water closet. I'm sorry. And there you go. Voila, it is done. Alright, so let's go ahead and save that. Save. And now we need to do a tree. Alright, so Control Save, Control Shift S, and let's go to tree. Delete that because we're doing trees. So we have two feet diameter tree. Let's check this out. So let's draw a circle. If we have 2 feet diameter, we need 12-inch. Copy. Displace. Control L. There we go. And let's just move that 1 inch. There we go. Now we need a 1 inch. I'm drawing this line here because I want the center between each of these circles that I displaced. And that's the center for, that's the end point for this center, or the center for this end point of this line, and that is the end point for the center of this line. And now check this out. Now I can draw a little circle that has a 1 inch diameter, so 0.5 radius. Now that actually worked out. There's my tree. Control S. We're done with that. Alright, I'm going to stop this video here. I'm going to make another one that will continue on page 3-24 with doors and then ceiling fans and the handicap symbol on page 3-30. And I'm going to put that on a separate video, so stay tuned.